Okay, so we are recording, Lucia, now. Okay.
All right.
Okay, so welcome, Lucia, to CCN, wiki.ccnstudios.com.
All right.
This is the equivalent of, this is a wiki formatted documentation system, okay? And there are, before we go through this operation, because others would listen to this video, I hope, I wanted to understand why I selected this. This is an open source project which allows us to incorporate the wiki pages to our software, to our web, web designs, to our games, to everything. This is all written, this software written in JavaScript. Large community of people supporting it. It has all the goodies that Wayne Allen usually puts there, the databases and connecting to this search engine, that search engine, Azure and Amazon, and all the things that we always wanted is incorporated there. As a matter of fact, some people use it for their corporate website, which we might want to consider once we consult with Wayne and Emron. It has some glitches, though. I've reported to Wayne already. So now that you know that, now we start by what is it that we have created. So, Lucia, if you go on top here, you see wiki.ccnstudios.com. You see that?
Yes.
It has our branding. Branding is reflected here on top again, CCN freeform language. I have to rearrange the letters for CCN, make it more, because they put a square, and CCN, when I put it in a square icon, no one could read it. So I put it along the diagonal, which is longer geometry. So this I wrote it as C to the power N mathematical expression. So it's CCN like that. But that was a trick to make the fonts bigger, okay?
I like it.
Oh, very good. We can stick to that because that's another discussion we're going to have this week about our branding.
I like it.
Okay, very good, Lucia. By the way, make your comments because I'm hyper and you know I usually go. Okay. Okay, so currently on the left-hand side, all you see is 3 folders. I didn't want to make it complicated with the homepage and this and that, although it does eventually brings it up. It's just that I assume the person that goes here has no interest to play with this thing. He just wants to read something and get the script or learn how something works and get out, right? This has that purpose. Now, Lucia, if you run this on your mobile phone, which is another reason why I selected Wiki versus what Wayne had suggested, which was the WordPress platform, is that their entire brain thrust and time of this organization went to make these pages render on mobile phones, all mobile phones and all browsers, flawlessly, most beautifully. And is one of the best renderers for text and images, okay?
That's good.
Okay, so on the left-hand side here, you see three folder-like structures. On the first one, Lucia, we need you to contribute immediately this week, okay? Just walk me through the structure of this text if we can take notes. You have seen this before. I have put it several places, including our fundraising. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so this, Lucia, is a task I'd like you and I this week to do. Maybe Hosaina will join us or other people if they want to. Now, I am not going to go to welcome to CCN Studios. That's for prefaces to the releases and things like that. Cloud Funk over here that you see, these are cloud functions that developers, other third-party developers can access. I'm not going to go that. For now, I'm going to go to freeform programming, okay? When you go to freeform programming, it does have to show this root thing up here, which is the top of their so-called cloud filing system. There's nothing I can do. It has to be there. That's the best I could do to simplify. And there you see a little page for something about freeform programming, introduction or something. You see beginners lessons. you see characters, you see geometry, you see grammar, you see image processing, and then you see an introduction. In other words, Lucia, it looks like a hierarchical chapters of a book, like any other wiki that you have used. Okay. However, the other wikis that Wikipedia you used to, this navigation is a little bit annoying and complicated for techies. This is the best I could do to make it look like palatable on your phone for a retail consumer. Okay.
I have a question.
Yeah.
How come introduction is the last one? Introduction would normally be at the beginning.
The problem I'm having is I have to ask somebody there how to force the change of the order to the list that I haven't having time, because it starts alphabetically goes down and sorts.
Oh, okay.
The problem is that I have to learn how to say don't sort, and I do my own sorting. I haven't had even time to scratch my head. But you're correct, Richard. This will be fixed. This needs to go to the Discord forum. On the Wikipedia, on the discussions, I'm going to put a task list or something like that, bugs and things like that, and you enter that today as an exercise. Would you do that for me?
Say that again?
In the Discord, where the wiki category is, I like you to enter that in a task list that I have there, so I know what I have to work on, okay?
All right.
So get used to using the Discord, okay? Any other questions?
No.
Okay, we go to beginners lessons. And this is organized. Again, beginners lessons, there will be an introduction that some text can have Hossein add in her own words. And then, Lucia, you have two folders. Now, the lessons are not individual files or links anymore. They're now folders. You click on lesson 1. And by the way, Lucia, look at the hierarchy. We started from top, free from programming, beginners lessons, lesson 1. We are in beginners lessons. By all means, as soon as I finish a couple of lessons, Lucia, I add the advanced lessons. The reason is I don't want the platform to be trivialized. The platform can do most powerful things that will be, awe-inspiring, and that needs to go to lessons because some fairly competent people would also would like to use it. Okay. And
I'm just language. Rather than beginner lessons, should you say level 1?
Let's discuss that on a Discord, okay?
Yeah. I'm just thinking.
Do you mind if we go do this in Discord, not here?
Yes.
I prefer that we keep a record of it. That's what Discord is for. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we go to lesson 1. Let's say you're happy with the acronyms and vernacular and all that and the structure and these files. By the way, we can change the structure. It's not that hard to do. It's just I have to sit down or teach this Hossein to do it. So lesson 1, now we go to lesson 1. Okay, this is how lesson 1 looks like. Before I go discuss with you what all these crazy things on the screen mean, I would like to explain to you the structure of this page, which is very important, okay? Okay, on top, you see home, freeform, lessons, lesson 1, lecture note. Our branding is here. This is exactly like this, beautifully rendered, resized to your phone or tablet appears. On top here, okay, there is this, these are called block quotes. You have gray block quotes, which is generally speaking, whatever you want to put there. You have information block quotes, which are light blue, and you have warning or error, okay, that goes into yellow. So let me see if I have a green one here. No, I don't have a green one here. Okay, so let me just go back up. All right, so then the lessons are so this one on top says what? Maybe you didn't like the word what? You like the word objective, perhaps?
No, what is okay.
I like to make it not too, this is for retail reader. What is this? That's how people talk. So this is your first introductory lesson in writing free-form scripts for interactive 3D games. Time to complete 10 to 20 minutes, okay? This is these two items will be on every page. We good?
Yes.
Okay. Then we go step 1, step 2, step 3, and that's the structure of the document. So before I go forward, so you have this little dinky on top here, this block quote, and let's use the terminology that each platform has. That's a block quote, okay?
Okay.
Fancy rendering of a block quote, and then you have a header called step 1, step 2, step 3, and that's pretty much how this ends, okay? Is this palatable, Lucia?
Yeah.
Now, there was a table of content that was appearing here like a floating list that has disappeared. Something they did that I need to figure out, or maybe something I did. But there will be, if this gets too large, there will be like this is step 1, step 2 turns into a little list table. I'll discuss it later on. I don't know what I did wrong. Step 1, create a freeform script. Okay. Go to freeform editor URL. This is where you write your scripts. It's like a text editor. I would like to not to discuss it now. I just want to go through the concept. Is that okay with you?
Okay.
So the person wants to know, okay, if I want to program these things, should I install something? No. As it says in the introduction, that there's no installation. You click on this link on your mobile phone or on your computer, on any browser, you open this link. As you can see, is a Wolfram Cloud address. When we go on board with the next level of licensing with them, this wolframcloud.com will go away and become CCN Studios, okay? But that's a matter of licensing with Wolfram we need to discuss. Now that we have that, then this, when you link on it, okay, is a freeform construct editor. You go there, you get a text editor. And this text editor, as puny it looks like, is pretty mightier than the other ones in the market, which another discussion will cover that, not now, okay? Go to freeform URL, you click on that, and it opens the window where you can type something like this. Enter your credentials. There would be some place here, Lucia, or here, maybe step 0. I say where to get the credentials, which we release it to the hand of the programmer. Like they go to a website, and run our CCN Studios, and then there they apply for credentials. They get an email, they have the account, name of the account holder, and password, and so on. That's credentials. Once they enter that, then they go, Lucia, and then they select this, they go there. There is a little place as a script. They enter CCN game 1, which I have to put a little bit more detail there, but that gives them the script for this lesson. So they don't need to go download anything from any place. They go look at CCN official game path. This is a path, CCN group name, Dara username, name of the game 1. Okay? And everybody goes there to get the game 1. They get the same script, or if I upgrade it, they get whatever upgrades I put. And this is what they see on the screen. You see that? Now look, Lucia, this is, oversee, you see a copy? Do you see a copy?
Yeah.
They go there, Lucia, click on this copy. They go here, where editor they open, they copy it and put it there. That's as simple as this. So they don't need to open files, close files, copy files, because on the phone, we assume the person does not have a personal computer. I have to write this assumption someplace so that people understand how. If they have a computer, this is also as easy as putting it in a text file. Okay, so here, Lucia, you see some stuff that looks like half English, correct? Yes. Attach to construct in the start. We will come to this. This is an important thing. Not try to understand, but it has to be there. We come to that discussion shortly. Then you have player size, the size of the player. I want it to be the size to be 1, which is 1 means the original size of what the artist gave us, which is usually 1.5 meters to 1.70 meters. Okay. That player size will tell us make him twice larger if you put 2. If you put 0.5, make the player shorter by half. And this is where this lesson is all about, is that you then have a list, pre-published list, which appear here someplace, that you have a player name, and you set up the player name equal to this anime character called Cage with K, which is from Viroid Studio. Are we good so far, Lucia?
Yes.
And then at the end, and look at here, Lucia, it always advises you almost in the beginning that do not forget to put the semicolons. The semicolons are end of sentences. Each one of these that you see here, Lucia, is called a sentence once you put a semicolon at the very end.
Yeah.
Okay. However, player size is a token or a phrase. So if you have more complicated, so there's a sub collection of the words are called phrases. And then the entire thing, there will be a video to this effect with text over that goes through this. And then you and I will this week decide how that video looked like as you give me instructions previously, okay?
Yes.
Now this one, now we have the size of this player, we have the name of this player. Now the question is, where are we going to put it? It needs to stand on something. Is a humanoid. Is a humanoid. Where? Then we say to the person that you don't need to worry about geometry, that floor thing that you see at the end. You simply go and use another path name in Freeform Cloud, which is group username, the name of the geometry, which is called plane. Plane is a technical name for a flat floor. Okay, you say plateau, plane, so I use the word plane. And there's a very adamant reason why I use certain verbiage, okay? And then you say, okay, now that I have the geometry, I might have, in this plane, there might be multiple geometries, okay? There might be a plane, cone, sphere, something else. Where would I start? It says I start on the region called floor, okay? So that plane that specifies the geometry, overall geometry of the structure, has a region in it called floor. Now these will be in the documentation, additional little something around here that I put, that you know, you understand this plane and this floor, you know where to get these names. There are tools and things to do that. But this is a tutorial. You start, you have no idea. I'm not going to be overbearing. Just copy this script and just go through a couple of phrases, and then you get yourself something running, and then you come back and study the script. You see how this goes? This is called learning by example. Questions, Lucia?
No.
Okay, now that we know that we are starting on a sub-region of this geometry called plane, but where? Well, we like to be very variational. We say to start at anywhere. The only thing I forgot to mention here, I'm taking notes as we are talking. Just can you bear with me, Lucia? I'm taking notes.
Yeah.
Okay, so you see, it says start at anywhere.
Yes.
I connected the word any and where there, but you don't need to. You can put any space where, like you write it, say anywhere or anywhere. It allows you majority of the tokens and the words of this language to share. They can have spaces between them, like player name. You should know this and speak to Imran and Hussein on them. No programming language allows you to have gaps between the words. So you need to write player and name connected, or put some other character like player dot name, player underbar name. But in this programming language, thanks to my genius and brilliance, I said the consumer is not going to understand player underbar name. That's why they didn't want to go to programming classes that were out there that are people offering, because nasty, the syntax of these languages. I just was a player name, I put a space, or I may say anywhere, put a space there. It still reads it correctly, Lucia. Okay. Did I lose you?
No, I'm listening.
And then at the very end, Lucia, you say publish as my own game or plane or whatever word you want to put over here. And this is where, with Hussaina and you in this course, we discuss what should be the first name of the game that the guy creates. He may put his own name and say, publish as Ducky. Okay. Mm-hmm. Then he gets his first name is called Ducky. So anyway, these needs to be explained. There's a little bit of more English has to be there. This is, Lucia, the anatomy of a behavioral anatomy of a game, which you specify its player, you specify its size, you specify the complex geometry, the geometry complex, the collective of geometries, you specify where to land, you specify where on that ground, you say here, randomly land any place, and then you publish it as a game. Separate game, which is yours, and you can give that address for that game to other people, and they go to CCN construct, and they will be able to bring your game up without anything on WebGL, no installation, nothing. You can show off what you just created. Except in real life, when I make more complicated games, this is much longer. But for now, this is your first simplest script. I stop here and ask you for comments.
So could you show me now? So this is lesson 1.
Oh, this is just part of lesson
1. Okay, so go to the next step so I can put this together.
Here, Lucia, then you go to that CCN editor that we have over here. You see that?
Mm-hmm.
You go down here, you click on that link, and this is where the text editor opens. You type all those things here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Except I changed the name to game 1, which I go correct in my script. I have a discrepancy. So here, Lucia, you go on and you type by hand, you copy from what I gave you up there, the copy button, and you write all these things down. And then you press construct. Okay. Now, he says how to construct. See, Lucia, every step is very detailed, very simple. Now, does this come close to what your Spanish online textual information goes? You're going to be the judge of this, okay?
So how many steps are in this?
Usually
lesson?
Very simple. I put 3 or 4 and you're done. 5 play. Each step is it takes you 1 or 2 seconds to share.
Okay, so I would suggest if you scroll back up to step 1, I think you need to have a bigger introduction.
Let me write down, Lucia, I'm writing this down. Okay?
I'm sure Hussaina might have explained that too. So when I read this, you're speaking as a very integrated person, explaining things, underestimating how much knowledge you have in each one of these
Correct.
words. You know, like go to free form editor URL. Now, for a person like me who might begin, I wouldn't have the foggiest what you're saying.
Oh,
I know
there's a video will come here, Lucia. I'll add a video here, which will be a text over. It will be a short video that this text that you see here, step by step, step 1 goes to the video, step 1, exactly the verbiage and these headlines appear in the video, and you can see how you're supposed to do it without even reading the text. You should be able to mimic.
So just so I understand, so where's the video lodged?
The video will be here. There will be a beautiful video with a panel over here that I embedded. So, so this is a lesson. Someplace around here, you and Hussaina decide that there will be a beautiful frame embedded video appears, that this lesson in its entirety would be inside that video, and the headlines and the language used in the lesson are precisely appear inside the video. The person doesn't need to read this, but I have to put it.
So, because what I want to do is go in there and walk through it and see if I can understand it.
Yes, let me make a video today.
Most children today, most young people, they're much more knowledgeable than I am about using their phones and their this, that, and the other. However, I thought that if I could at least begin to understand it. So I was going to say to you, this black panel you have here, I'm not sure if it's needed, because as you say, if you go to the URL, I think you said that already shows this up. So maybe the video could explain this.
Yes, but this is, let me interrupt you for a second. This has to be here because a high school student or a first year college student may also come. I cannot make 10 or 15 of these, okay? So we want you to read this and you say, I'm not gonna look at this gibberish. There's a video here. And then the video make it far easier. There would be a first year college student or a high school senior who knows, who's used to seeing this. I have to, in these beginners lessons, the advanced lessons are simple. The beginners lessons, I have a challenge of economy of space, okay? And that's what I'm counting on you and Hussein and others to advise. I can't take this out, and we need to discuss this on Discord because you follow, Lucia?
Yeah, I was just proposing if
Oh, no, I'm not objecting. I wish I could. Originally, this wasn't there. But
all right.
when I gave it to people, they was not comprehensible. Shall we go down and then we can always come back?
Yeah.
Okay, so this over here shows you what this CCN freeform editor is. And in the video, you get the same thing, okay? And then you press construct, okay? And here it renders the screen for you, which I will do in the video, that you get a success and how much CPU seconds are used, which is right now optionally puts it there, but we discuss that later on, okay? Now you want to see your creation. You want to see if it worked. Right down at step 3, it tells you where to get the binary that runs your game. In this case, is a URL, Lucia. You see this URL? Okay, we have 10 minutes for this session, and then we can come back, make another session. So here there will be Android, there will be iOS build, there will be a Windows build, there will be a Mac OS build. As I do the builds, I add them over there. Are we clear on this, what this is? So yes. If you want to run it on your mobile phone, you don't want to go to the browser because it's far better to run it on a mobile phone or your desktop. You pick up the binary there. What is that binary? That binary is called construct, whatever, construct RPG, construct arts. This binary runs infinitely many games of certain genre. You don't need to, for example, for your game, Lucia's game, we create one binary. For Wayne's Allen's name, we create another one, another binary. For Hassan games, we make another binary. This is how the industry is set up now, okay? And this is impractical because on especially a mobile phone, you don't have a space to have all these games. After a couple of games, you don't have a space. So I'm speaking fast. So what basically I've done in the design of the construct concept, as we did with the modules previously, that you have a single binary per operating system or browser, and this single binary runs all the RPG genre that you could ever want. There would be another one called construct cars or construct racing, which will run all the car games you always want. Construct art will have all the exhibition, interactive exhibition you always want. But in one single binary, you follow what I'm saying?
Yes.
All right. Just to remind you that is not English word. Then we go to step 4, and that is how to see how to run the construct and run your game. And this is where, Lucia, this section is important that in the next video, you and I actually make a game for Lucia and another one for Hussaina when she's available. And here I create a group for you guys to join called student/Lucia/game1. Remember, you had over here for your credentials, you put Lucia, student, you specify the name of the construct, which is construct RPG. You enter your password, you enter the script here, just copy paste. And then you go to this URL address, which brings you a web page, and you enter student/Lucia/game1, and you hit enter. Okay?
So just so we're clear then, each of us at this level then ends up with pretty well the same game, the same construct.
The construct is unique. Construct is one binary. In
Yes.
this construct, you run this freeform scripts, or what I call freeform creations, that becomes your game versus my game. Okay?
Yeah, but what I'm suggesting is because you've pre-populated it, all of our stuff will look very similar within this construct.
Yes, but it's actually
No, I'm just, it's not a negative.
I need to speak. It is not pre-populated at all. Okay? Use the term that is not correct. It is not pre-populated. The characters and many other items, they come from the cloud. The geometries come from the cloud. You can create your own geometry and soon your own characters. The number of characters now at least are in 20 that I can provide. It is not pre-populated. It is pre-populated right now for animated characters until we have better tools. The geometries and everything, the programmer himself creates the geometries, the behavior of what happens, where you land, how you fight, how you go up and down. These are all under the freeform script. The pre-populate word is not a good word. It's not canned.
Dara, that's not what I asked.
Yes.
This is a lesson.
In this lesson, we have canned it, so it's easy for you to learn.
That's what I just asked.
I understand. I am just hyper. I have short time. I have 5.5 minutes. Can I go further down? We can make a second session right away, okay?
No, I think this is enough for me for today.
Can I just go one more
Yeah,
down the page? Lucia, can I go down the page?
Yes, I just said yes, of course.
Just make me nervous. Okay, step 5, you play. And this is where, Lucia, my focus has gone per your wise instruction. This image is beautiful. And there are things about it very beautiful that you don't notice if you are not in the gaming world, is that I put these tiles so that you get an idea of the geometry and the perspective. You see the points of the vanishing points, Lucia?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes.
There are two vanishing points. Now you come to that, you and I, we will, when we study perspective on geometry, look over here, 3D plane geometry. You and I would have a section for perspective as we were doing for your paintings, remember? Okay. Yes. So Lucia, as you go to the blind point of the perspective, this texture that you have is very fine. It's very fine texture. If you do not know what you're doing, you get these pixelations. This is, as you see in other places, block pixels appear and looks like gibberish. Doesn't look like, but you see here, Lucia, beautifully renders to the end. Although you cannot read the game, you can read this. It says prototype here, okay, right now here. But I'm saying to you that you can see there's a beautiful rendition over here, okay? And the character herself, you can see it on the browser, and there will be a video here. Another important thing, Lucia, is that now you have an information block code, which tells you the controls for the game. This is a keyboard controls. WASD helps you to move. Q slides, if you do Q and jump, which is the space bar. I put it someplace here. I have not built it yet. I did not update it yet. So you can do karate kid, then you can have punch, and then you have Z and double ZZ that gives you the drones, okay? These right now, most of the people, kids who do gaming and things, they know what they know WASD, what that is, okay? They know what that is. They know keyboard controls, what that is. They know Z and ZZ will take you to the attack drone and view and all. They know what to you is foreign language, right? But for a 30-year-old, they know, they have done this 10 times, okay? Now, quickly. Now you go back and modify the freeform script. In this lesson, we're gonna go and show the person that there is nothing here canned. use another character of your choice, say Android 1. You go back there, Lucio, to the same editor, and then you enter here the word Android 1. You see that?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
You run the game with the same steps, press construct, and now this girl appears. Now you have Android 1 there. Okay?
Yeah.
So in this, you spend on top, remember we said 10 to 20 minutes?
Yeah.
In this 10 or 20 minutes, you got a good introduction, you enter the script, modify it a little bit, and you're going to have a game with a particular character you selected. And Lucia, you exit from this lesson, go have lunch, and you feel accomplished. Now, if you send the URL for the construct, a browser, a WebGL that I created, the person enters student/Lucia/game1, and they play your game. You say, Mom, Dad, look, I made this.
Now, but if they modify the character, is that not game 2?
Yeah, well, I wanted to show them that game 1 can be modified. You see? Then I had to have see, right now what you said is what I need. You should say, Dara, that you have optionally changed the name to game 2. I'm writing this down. So on the step 6, now you see, this is what I need you, Lucia. You have the brains for this. On a step 6, break it into 2 parts, 1 and 2. One is that you save as game 1, and then the other one is as game 2. Okay. So you have 2 games. Okay. I will put that text over there. Okay.
All right.
Less than a minute. So I'm going to say goodbye to you here, and then we can have another video of this. I would eat your brains up again the same way. Thank you very much. We'll talk to you very soon.
All right. Bye-bye.